So have you figured out that this is kind of about all the points and lines? So we started out by extruding, but if I wanted to do something smaller, I needed to extrude a couple sections out so I could get at this piece right there so that I could pick that and bring it out. Then we found out that if I used the inset tool, it would move some points. Remember this? Move some points inwards, connect them with some lines, and then add some other lines to connect the points to the corners. And remember, we looked at this in wireframe to see how that's all happening. Well, we're going to expand on that by adding our own lines. So here we are back at our default cube. Going to get out of object mode into edit mode. I hit Control R on the keyboard right there, right? And then what happens is as I hover over any one of these edges here, it puts a line all the way around the object at that point, okay? Now, there are reasons why it might not go all the way around on more complex objects than a square, but that's something that we'll get to later. Now, this is a two-part tool. So I bring it here in the middle, and you think, well, that's not where I want it. But then what you can do is this. Scroll the mouse wheel, and you're going to get a whole bunch of little lines. Well, I only need a couple, right? So I scroll it a little bit, and now I get two, and then there's more. And so then I click, but then when you click, you can move it up or down. And then you go, okay, well, I want it right in the center. Well, what you do is before you actually click somewhere else right now, right click. So watch my mouse over on the side. I right click. Oh, it didn't light up over here. Bad mouse. I right click and then it centered it. Okay, so let me do that again. Control R, hover over the edge that I want, left mouse button, bring it up or down, and then right click and it will center it. Do it again. Control R, hover over, scroll the wheel to get as many as I want. Click, that was the left click, move it around, right click to center it. Okay, now I keep saying to center it, but of course, if you wanted it up there, you could absolutely do that. And this is something we do fairly frequently. Bring something down like this, then maybe I want something right through there. So now I can go like this, and I can click and I can move it over, and I can click and I can move it over like this. And now in wireframe, you see, those are all points and lines. So now I can pick number 3 on here, and then I could inset that if I wanted to, and then I could extrude that out or something like that, you see? So that's purely it right there. That is the loop cut tool, and it becomes very helpful all over the place. So now, for example, let me just keep going with this. I'll do a little bit of a scroll, I'll add a few more here, and then I'll click, I'll move it around, want it right in the center, so I right click and it'll snap to the center. But now I'll go over here, Control R, and look at this. So now it's wrapping around the whole block. So I'll roll it up a few more times. Woo, look at that. Click, move it back and forth, right click, goes right in the center. Now I have got a whole pile of points, lines, and dots. By the way, let's go over here. Remember this tool. I go over here and I'll turn on statistics. And our little cube that we know starts out with 12 triangles now is up to 284, of course, right? But just to let you know that we are actually subdividing this. Now I can get in here and I could start to pick faces, and maybe I want to do a handful of these, right? So here's another side trick. Hold down Shift, just like most tools. Actually, most Shift would be select between, but that in this case is Control. So that's, if you know that trick in Windows, it's backwards. So I hold down Shift to pick individual ones in different places, or I pick one and then hold down Control and it will get all of them in between. Okay, shortest path. So maybe I want, I should have picked a more interesting number of subdivisions, but maybe I want to take all of these right here. That's weird. And then I could extrude all these up or down just like that. Notice there's some Z fighting going on over on that side. That's kind of weird. So I'm going to bring this up. Okay. What do you think is going to happen if I do a loop cut right through here? Control R, all the way around. But watch this. So if I click this, it won't go past that block. I can't just take it and slide it off here. I'm stuck in this area here. So maybe that's okay. Maybe I just want it right here, Control R, and then bring this one over like this. And now I have some other selection here that I could use to, do something with, okay? So that's our first look at loop cuts. We're going to be using this one a lot. And later on, I will show you one of the problems that comes up because of this, but not right yet, right? So right now, I just want you to continue the same old, same old. Pick some faces here. Get used to your 1, 2s, and 3s here. So pick 1, 2, 3, pick a face, maybe inset it a little bit, extrude it inward, and then inset it again, and then maybe extrude it out. And then I want something right in there, so I'll hit R for a loop cut and maybe give it a scroll, and I'll, give it a scroll, yeah, about like that. Click, left click, and then right click to center, and then number 3 again, and I'll hold down Control and get those, and then watch this. So then I'll inset the 2 of those because I can do that together. Then I'll bring that in and on,